Hi, I'm Tyler from Specialized Computer Solutions. Today I want to talk about email security. One of the most common methods used by hackers or internet Philistines to try to steal information from innocent users online is called phishing. You've probably heard that term before. It's been around for a number of years. If you don't know what it is, basically it's someone trying to trick you into giving them information. The way they do this is by sending you emails that seem to be from legitimate companies. The hackers and scammers that make them do a pretty good job of imitating the companies that they're supposed to be from. However, there are things that you can look at that can help you identify the differences between a legitimate and an illegitimate email. Yes, you can identify them. Even though a lot of spam filters, email security settings, things of that nature are pretty good at catching some of this stuff, a lot of these scammers have gotten pretty adept at being able to get some of those emails through. The good news is that there are a few things you can look at that will help you identify phishing and scam emails. The first thing you want to do is identify the sender of the email. You look at the from field in the email. Is it someone that you recognize? If that person claims to be from your bank or credit card company, things like that, look at the email address and their name and see if those match up. I've got an example here. It's actually an email that I got from PayPal. And if you look at this, the text that's highlighted in blue there says it's from service@paypal.com, but the actual email that shows up when I hover over it is paymentverificationcare@accountant.com. Obviously not PayPal. The second thing you want to do when trying to identify if an email is legitimate or a scam is identify the recipients. Smart scammers won't send, one mass email with hundreds and hundreds of recipients, because chances are your bank isn't going to email you and all of the other people that bank at that bank and ask them to click on a link to verify their account information. This is an email I got. It's obviously not me, and it's to one person, but it's not my email address, which is really strange. The next thing that you're going to want to do when trying to identify if an email is actually legitimate is looking at the body or main content of the email. And these are a few things to look out for. The first thing is going to be the name. For me, obviously, if it was someone that knew me, they would say, "Hey, Tyler." It wouldn't be just the first part of my email address or my whole email address. I've seen thousands of scam emails that have done that, and my bank would not address me by my email address. Another thing to check too, which is a pretty big giveaway in most cases that I've seen, is going to be the grammar and punctuation. A lot of it too is just capitalization. If random words are capitalized, it's a pretty good sign that it's not from the legitimate sender. Bank of America, PayPal, they do a pretty good job of making sure their emails are grammatically correct. Now, another thing too, unless you're absolutely certain that it's not a scam email, do not click on any links or open any attachments. You can actually do the same thing I did earlier, where I hovered over the email address and see if the URL that shows up there is in any way related to the destination that the sender of the email is trying to get you to think that you're going to. And also, just a general rule as well, deals that seem to be too good to be true pretty much always are. Here's an example that I got. It's that same PayPal email from before. If you look at this email address, when I hover over that, it's a completely different link there. So this is an example too that I made in Outlook of how I can make it say PayPal, but when I hover over it, it just goes to our website, scsgrandrapids.com. So if you don't investigate it a little bit more, you may think it's legitimate, but it can bring you somewhere else. And here are a couple more good things to look for in the body of the email. The first thing, American Express isn't going to ask you for your account number, your card number, anything like that, especially through an email. Again, links, attachments, don't open them unless you're 100% certain. I've seen a lot of these FedEx and UPS emails that have a zip file that says, "Hey, it's your tracking document enclosed, download it," and it's definitely a virus. One of the big things too that seems to be more prominent in recent months is emails that threaten legal action if you don't send some kind of wire transfer money to someone. The government's not going to do that. They're not going to unfreeze your bank accounts for $300 in Bitcoin. So just a couple more things to keep in mind. The majority of email services that are available to everyone on the internet are not encrypted. Don't send any sensitive information through email. It's not a good idea. Another good practice to get into is using two-factor authentication. I know Facebook has this available, Gmail has it, Dropbox. Basically, if you're signing into one of those services on an unfamiliar device, it'll send you a text message to verify the code to avoid someone gaining access to your credentials and signing in. Another good practice, actually one of the best practices I can recommend, is using a unique password and a couple of unique email addresses for each online service that you use. So if one of your accounts gets compromised and all of your other accounts have the same password and any of those are linked, then there's a pretty good chance that someone could get into your other accounts with that same password. Try to vary those as much as possible. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos, visit us at scsgrandrapids.com.